Hello, everybody. Just getting us all live here. Begin. Sound working. Awesome sauce. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so the title of this live is "Are You Okay to Be Insane?" And I want to bring up quickly the definition. I just Googled what the Oxford Dictionary says what sane is. It says it's an adjective of a person of sound mind, not mad or mentally ill. Now, key is mind. This is thought, all of the head of mind. Well, it says, and then it says similar or of an undertaking or a manner reasonable, sensible. Now, who decides what reasonable and sensible is? So we're gonna dig down a little bit on this, and just with the current energies, and I'm speaking from my experience of what's going on right now. There's many times where I feel insane. With the amount of light that's going into my nervous system, probably on a daily basis, something will shake me or rock me based on experiences or new realizations that will kind of almost put me in this like shuddering, like what the fuck's going on? I don't want to be in this body kind of feeling. And it's really uncomfortable. It feels really weird. It doesn't feel very safe, but it's real. It's happening in my body. Everybody is being pushed to take on more light, to take on more awareness, to take on more understanding, whatever you want to call it, of who they are. And it can get really uncomfortable at times to question everything. And that's what's showing up. I know a lot of light workers are feeling a lot of the same things, where just things aren't working out. Things aren't manifesting. They don't feel like they're inside my creation. I'm feeling a lot of times like I'm in a box inside of a box inside of a box inside of a box. There's layers, and basically it just keeps continually percolating is I guess the best way to overall describe it. So basically the percolation is the old self, the old definition, the old way, living in a society with certain beliefs, expectations, how reality works. That's been imposed, I guess is the best way to look at it, so that you can live with a bunch of other people in a collective and everybody line up. But certain people in that collective over millennia wanted to twist the general perspective that everybody has, so that they can be controlled, so that they meet somebody else's expectations. When I said that sound mind, sensible and reasonable, we're living in a world where we're expected to be sane, where our mind is in alignment with other people, and we line up with a shared collective belief so that we can coexist together. And then certain people decided that, okay, so I grew up Catholic, so that sex is shamed and it's only for procreation, that sins are this list of the 10 commandments, and if you don't follow them based on a human perspective, they say it came from God or Moses or whatever, but those things were some man's creation to say that as long as you follow this, it will be safe, that you will be without sin, you will work with other people. Now look at how many different places that is, like laws. Okay, well, you must stop at a stop sign for 3 seconds before you continue your movement. There's rules put around everything to keep us safe, to keep us protected, to keep us safe to other people. That's a really interesting one when you start to look at it. How many things are you doing? Well, let's say we're taught by our parents, like, oh, okay, well, children should be seen but not heard, to protect their sanity, to protect their perspective, or that maybe you're asking too many questions and just kind of be quiet for a while. And these are things that stick with us for the rest of our life. And then we don't speak up when we don't talk or whatever. And parents don't even know they're doing it because that's acceptable. That's what the way is. Parents know better. It's crazy. And then when we start really digging down and we start to understand ourselves, most of us aren't even grown-up adults inside. We have an inner child that's just screaming and throwing tantrums because it really didn't get a chance to grow up. It wasn't supported. And we have all these beliefs that are in there that are tearing at us. They're boxing us in. They're closing our world down. So our sanity is determined by how much we line up with truth. Excuse me, my nose is itchy today. Of other people, of laws, of rules, of religion, of government, of societal conditioning, of what our parents said, all this kind of stuff. That's what's sane. And then we get people that are bipolar or insane that don't see the world in the same way as us. And then we judge them and we label them and we say, oh, you're insane. There's something wrong with you. And you really need to go get some help with that, and go see a psychologist, take these pills, etc. But I don't want to live in a reality that has that much control for me anymore. And a part of awakening is breaking out of the box, breaking out of the prison of our thoughts, of our beliefs, of our programming, of what society has told us. And then you're going to feel insane. You're going to feel like you don't fit in. You're going to feel like you're different. You're going to feel like you don't want to be here sometimes, because the whole world's safety apparently is on following these rules. But who made the rules? Whose benefit are they for? Why do I have to line up with somebody else's rules, understandings, whatever, to make the world feel safe, when really it's not helping me? It doesn't make me feel safe. It's so hilarious just watching people kind of come in, come out, come in, come out, watching on the live. I don't know why it bothers me, but and I'm going to talk about that in a second, because so many people just want something that fills them, feeds them with this Facebook bullshit. They just want to sit here and fucking have somebody give something to them that makes them feel good and makes them feel open and light and airy, and they're so judgmental about the things that are aiding them or making them feel comfortable, and they just tune in for a second and they take what they want or whatever, and then they just walk away, and they don't really drill down into what's being shared. It's gold as far as I'm concerned, but they're just so flighty, and everybody just wants to be satisfied in a second. And that's why I do my lives longer. I do them 20 minutes sometimes, because if you really want to be immersed and you really want to learn something, you're going to sit in the value of it. There goes another ones. But to do little light things that fits with people's like infatuation with just getting fed really quick and then moving on. I won't do it. It's bullshit. It's part of my sanity. It's like, we got to get grounded in a space and start to really drill down on something before something changes. We start to see it as different. So if awakening is a status or state of opening inside, getting new clarity, getting other things, you got to be prepared to be insane a little bit, to step out of sanity, which is the societal norm and the way everybody else thinks, to really change, to really start to shake up your reality and want something new. And we're sitting in a time and space where everybody's being crushed by all this debilitating control and darkness and forcing and all this kind of stuff. How do you get out of it? Well, you start questioning everything. You start questioning your sanity. You start questioning the I don't know, the societal norm or whatever. I'm actually going to stop watching the questions because it's really pissing me off right now. How little people respect what I do sometimes. And I know some people say thank you and other things, but there's a shitload of people that never even say a word. They just sit here and come to be fed, to be milked, to be whatever the fuck they are. And it's really disappointing. And this may feel ugly and may feel uncomfortable or whatever. I don't give a flying fuck anymore. I'm not doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for me, to put that out there, to put some breadcrumbs. And when people are fucking really prepared to start to change, then they're going to really respect the people that are changing and giving that information, and really honor and respect and give something back sometimes. And I'm not asking for people to send money, but the number of people I have helped in my life, shone light into, let them be part of my life, supported their stuff, all this kind of stuff, is part of my insanity. I helped so many people that really didn't give a flying fuck about me afterwards. They got what they wanted. They helped themselves at the smorgasbord, and then they walked away. And it happens every day because everybody's so flighty. They don't really acknowledge these things that brought them value. And I'm not giving from an open heart anymore freely until you engage and until you're ready to step in and to be in a friendship. I've lost track of the number of people that were my best friends until I stopped supporting them or going to their things or whatever. It's insane to keep giving freely to a whole bunch of people that really don't acknowledge you or thank you or just came to be fed. And there's a real lack of sovereignty. There's a real lack of integrity when they just come and show up and they blindly sit there, don't even make a comment, don't even whatever. And it makes me really question doing these lives, really question giving this stuff to anyone, because it's not feeding me back. I feed and feed and feed the pigeons every day. And some people are going to like this and they're going to think it's ugly and messy. But why do you watch? What's here? If I turn off my energy and I step back and I just speak from on high here, and I'm not going to be a well of knowledge, of smiles, of whatever, would you even come and watch these lives? It makes me question. And it makes me want to retract from society. It makes me want to not even bother anymore. How do I get fed? Maybe some people responding, hey, this is great. Yeah, and I have people that do that, but I have lots and lots and lots and lots that just sit there and love my energy and other things. But is it sane for me to continue to do that? And it's a big question that's going on right now. I sat in a group community that's all going against COVID in this area, and I watched the presentations of the people at the front, and I saw little children that wanted to lead, that are sitting in fear, that are trying to create a monetary system to promote them sharing their word and calling it a community to go against COVID. And change doesn't come from that. It doesn't come from people wanting to be seen, to prove themselves to whatever. And I couldn't see the community going forward, and I couldn't see the people rallying. Everybody was rallying around fear. Everybody's rallying around wanting to be heard and frustrated and all this kind of stuff. And that's just a bunch of inner children that are frustrated, that are being pushed to do the work, to push to make a change, push to whatever. But if you're living in fight and victim and all this kind of stuff, and living in a community where you're supported in that oh, woe is us, we're getting pushed and punished, and are we really pushing against the dark, or are we working on the shadow inside of ourselves only? This is probably my grittiest live that I've ever done. And I'm really not scared if it scares people away, because I've been so fucking authentic. I've given from my heart and my soul, and maybe way too much for my energy. And maybe I got to pull back. I had a friend, Colleen, that messaged me today and said, we're being like sprinklers and we're feeding all these people that don't really give a fuck. And they just soak up the water every time. And there's no gratitude. There's no whatever for the fact that really deep soul knowledge is being shared all the time. And do I want to be a sprinkler? Do I want to put that out there? Do I want to see people like me and all this kind of stuff? That used to be a really big pull, but now it's just like respect. What do you get from me? What do you want from me? I have no idea. I just put it out here so that somebody will get the breadcrumb. Somebody will get that little bit of information that'll help them move forward. It's a thankless job, apparently. And yeah, they'll wake up. They'll be grateful for it. They'll sit on the sidelines and kind of sit with it and pretend that they're a good person, or I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so sad. My son and I talked last night about friends that we bumped into, and it was like the friends were angry with us, and people that we thought really loved us really didn't. They just had this fucking veneer face on the front, and they really get pissed off by the fact that we're shining light and that we have more integrity sometimes than them, or we've spoken really directly and truthfully about stuff, and then their little petty little fucking child inside is walking around with this story, and we're sitting in integrity. We're being the bigger man sometimes, and reaching out and just trying to reconnect and really see, and then to see that anger, that frustration, that pissed offedness over us being integral, us shining light, us trying to be really good people, us, yeah, trying to please even sometimes. And then they hate us. Then they fucking just want to be despised at us because we got somewhere and they couldn't get there at the same time, or their beliefs or whatever, or their darkness that's inside has to make them just like shit on anybody that's giving good. And it really makes me question whether I want to shine that light anymore, because there's so much darkness. Fuck, I don't even know that I can manifest sometimes anymore, because I've given so much, and people don't want to see me successful sometimes. There are people that do, but there's also people that just like, where the fuck do you get off being so light? Where the fuck do you get off being so positive? And really, I release all those people. If you're not all in, then don't bother listening. Because I don't want to give to people, and I don't want to give parts of myself to people that aren't engaged. So if you really like my energy and it's really fun or whatever, well, I thank you for attending, but I welcome you to go and look into your integrity. Because I'm not giving freely anymore in that way. And nobody's going to take part of myself, my love, to be fed off of it so that they can sit and waste their time and not move forward. So if that's what's been working for you and whatever, I really encourage you to look inside to see. And I'm shifting my energy. I'm not giving energy to anybody that isn't all in, doesn't respect me anymore. Set that intention in my field from this day forward. And that's the sanest thing I've ever done, or the insanest, I guess, because it's against the opposite, but I'm not going to please anyone. I'm not going to puff up anyone anymore, because I was dying inside, just trying to feed all those people that aren't willing to do their work. And if you don't like it, fuck you. Because that's the truest thing my heart's ever said. And I thank for this opportunity to be able to say it. So no more pleasing, no more trying to get a community, no more trying to be a leader, no more trying to fucking pick people up that aren't ready to do their own. So I love you. This is the truest act of love. If this fucking insults you, then you really got some work to do. But if you fucking see the truth in it and see it for yourself, then let's walk forward together and let's do something amazing. Wow. Part of me wants to cry, but part of me also wants to like fucking say, okay, cutting off all the dead wood, letting go of all the people that don't give a shit. Goodbye. Thank you. And I welcome in all the new ones. Right here and right now. Love you all. Thank you. See you later.